All right, guys, here we're going to use what we did last week, inverse matrices, to solve some systems with them. I'm going to show you about 2 or 3, and that's really all this video is showing you the steps. But you need to remember how we did that last week with the inverses, and I'll show you one of those too. Okay, just a quick review on how we did the inverses last week, and this was on your video, so now you know how to do it. You multiply this direction, which is negative 12. You multiply that direction, which is negative 10. You always subtract, which will give you negative 2. After you get the negative 2, remember you flip it, you do reciprocal. Then you switch places with the first number and the fourth number, and you change the signs on the other two. And then you could distribute the negative 1/2 if you want to. But that's how you find the inverse. That's what we're going to do to solve these things. I'm going to show you 2 examples. Hopefully that's enough. You can go back and watch them as much as you need to. And here we go. All right, the first thing we're going to do is take this system and write it in what we call a matrix equation. I'm going to put the coefficients in one matrix, the 3, the negative 1, the 1, and the 2. In the second matrix, I'm going to put the variables, x and y. Then in the third one, I'm going to put the two answers, the 2 constants, 10 and 1. All right, and if you look at it, this one's a 2 by 2. This is a 2 by 1. That is a 2 by 1, which makes sense because if I multiply 2 by 2 times 2 by 1, I should get a 2 by 1, which is what's going to happen. So, and also think out how you multiply, you go across down, which would take you right back to what this looks like. I wish I was in class to show you that. But here's what we need to do. We need to move this matrix over here to the other side so we can get the xy by itself. Now, to do that, we can't divide matrices, but when you do division, division is the same thing as multiplying by reciprocal. Another word for reciprocal is multiplicative inverse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the inverse of this one over there and then multiply. So I'm going to find the inverse first. Multiply, that's 6. Multiply, that's negative 1. Always subtract, that gives me 7. So when I move it over, I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave the xy over here. I'm going to put the 1/7 in the front. I'm flipping the 7. I'm going to switch places with the 2 and the 3, change the signs on the 1s, and I still have the 10, 1 here. Now all I'm going to do to finish up is I'm going to multiply those 2 matrices together. I'm actually going to leave the 1/7 for the end because it's going to be too complicated to get the fractions in there. So I'm going to cross down. Okay, so I'm doing 2 times 10, which is 20. 1 times 1 is 1. If you add those, you get 21. Again, across down. Negative 1 times 10 is negative 10. 3 times 1 is 3. If you add those, you get negative 7. So to get your answer, you're just going to take 1/7 through there. 1/7 of 21 is 3. 1/7 of negative 7 is negative 1. There's your solution right there. 3, negative 1. So, in review, all I did is I found the inverse of our first one, moved it over, multiplied it by the one that's over here. It leaves the xy by itself, which tells you what the x is and tells you what the y is. Okay, I'm going to show you one more if that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Hopefully this next one will. All right, first step again, write it as a matrix equation. So put the coefficients in the first matrix, like that. Put the variables in the second matrix, like that. And the third matrix are your constants, or some people say your answers. Okay, now to move this over, which I need to do because I got to get the x and y by itself, I'm going to move the inverse over to the other side. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 3, negative 5 times 10, always subtract. Oh my goodness, that's 19. Okay, so when I move that over, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the 19 like we did last week. Switch places with the 3's, which does nothing. Change the signs on the other 2. I'm going to multiply that by the negative 820. And remember what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to leave that 1/19 to the very end. I'm going to do my multiplication here. So I'm going to cross down just like we did last week. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. 5 times 20 is 100. If you add those, you get 76. Same thing with the bottom row. Negative 2 times negative 8 and 3 times 20 also got 76. So what I'm really hoping is my 19, I'm going to do 119 times 76. I'm hoping 19 goes into 76, and it does. It goes in there 4 times, which means my x value is 4 and my y value is 4. There's a solution to my system right there, 4, 4. And that's all there is to it. So on your work today, it's a Google Doc. I want you to show your 3 lines. Show your setup, show how you moved it over, and then show your answer right here. So 3 lines. I'm only going to give you, there's only, I think, 2 problems or something. So not much, but I really want you to make sure you see how that's working. All right. And hopefully it wasn't too bad. Let me know if you need some help. See ya.